For those who are still sleeping, should understand that the battle for how the transition is going to be manifested is going on, and is in General Museveni's house, where his son-in-law, RWABWOGO, is fighting his own way, as General Karugaba is also doing the same. RWABWOGO has come out to sting NRM yet again, calling for transformation within the Revolutionary Party. And to me, when RWABWOGO comes out to speak, it shows how he wants to succeed his father-in-law. On the other hand, even Moses Karugaba is coming out crudely, crushing his weapon, crushing each and every dissenting views. It shows you that these two different people are each using different tools to achieve that goal. I'm going to play you a 2-minute clip of RWABWOGO calling on the NRM transformation. He said these statements.
We must keep the country communicating. And it must communicate freely without fear. You need to speak out without fear, because fear disables people. Because this is your country. You speak out. I suspect the interest that you had in asking is that we should keep Uganda growing. Especially in respect to the rule of law and the treatment of opinions that might often offend those in power. Because the United States dollar's $500 billion economy in 14 years that the president has set a target for us requires, listen to this, at least 35,000 megawatts of electricity to power this growth. The president and all of us want to rapidly industrialize. We want to convert much of our mineral and agricultural potential into finished high-value goods. That kind of investment does not come if we are quarreling, or we are lying about each other, or we are stifling civic dissent. I want you to know that we grow by listening, by talking to each other, and by restraint. I have personally been a subject of insults and lies for a very long time. And I have options. And my options are silence if what they are saying is just rubbish. One person said, RWABWOGO, you are naive to think that the NRM can recover anything that grows. That thing will die. But it can be recovered or extended or kept alive by preventive measures from those who know the value of that institution, of that being. He who should inspire and lead others must be defended from traveling with souls of other men, from living, breathing, reading, and writing in the daily time-worn yoke of their opinions. Leaders must take action against those who you teach, who you provide for, and they still continue to infect others with impunity. Together, we can lessen the negative impact of bad politics. We can reject corruption and the abuse of power. We must act with good reason, with good judgment, with maturity, with wisdom, on a society that is in transition. The country should continue to protect the right to dissent by those who oppose our views or our approach to issues. I have personally been a subject of insults and lies for a very long time. And I have options. And my options are silence if what they are saying is just rubbish. One person said, RWABWOGO, you are naive to think that the NRM can recover anything that grows. That thing will die. But it can be recovered or extended or kept alive by preventive measures from those who know the value of that institution, of that being.
That is RWABWOGO. First of all, I don't believe in that kind of transition because it looks like the state is putting out, it's fronting two people to see who's better. But of course, in an intellectual debate, RWABWOGO is far much better than MUHOOZI Kainerugaba. It is the truth. It's the reason as to why the team of MUHOOZI Kainerugaba, whenever it comes out to confront RWABWOGO, it is through threats, abuses, etc. Because in an intellectual debate, RWABWOGO can show dust MUHOOZI Kainerugaba. They are two different people. RWABWOGO knows how to debate. He even goes on TV stations, radio station to do debates with opposition leaders. Is well informed. He knows how to put up his words. On the contrary, MUHOOZI Kainerugaba is bleak, zero public speech. He doesn't understand the policy. He is very bad when it comes to policy. It is the reasons why when they are confronting RWABWOGO, they confront him in a crude way. That also brings me to another point. One, when the day MUHOOZI Kainerugaba entered in the contestation of wanting to be president or wanting to take over his father, okay, you clearly see that he came in a crude way. He lacked the charisma, he lacked public speech, he lacked the enthusiasm, he lacked the tactics of showing the people. So he resorted to what he understands more, instilling fear, beating people, announcing that he's going to hang Besigye, announcing that he's going to hang Bobby Wine, announcing that he's going to hang RWABWOGO, and all those people, by the way, one is in exile, others in the prison. Okay? Now it's Mwanga Chivumbi because he spoke about his family. So he's using tactics of instilling fear. Those tactics, to a certain extent, can make you success. You can gain some small gains, but in the long run, people will come out and oppose your tactic. Yet on the contrary, I've seen very many people abusing RWABWOGO, but I haven't seen anyone being taken to jail to that account. I'm not coming here to support RWABWOGO, but he's raising some pertinent issues. We must not keep quiet because this is our country, because the target of those who want to subjugate us want us to stop speaking out. So the purpose of this video, I've come to talk about the issues that were raised by RWABWOGO, what it means for our politics, and most importantly, the study materials you can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're into this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagale. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. One, I keep on telling people that Genome 7 is 82 years. By virtue of nature, it shows that a transition is nearer. It's the reason why even the whims of power were left to his son, who's whipping them in an erroneous manner. Okay? Genome 7 has always been a dictator and an authoritarian, but MUHOOZI is coming out to even raise the bar so high when it comes to dictatorship. There are some things that when Genome 7 did, it would come out with a PR. Nowadays, MUHOOZI does something and even posts them on Twitter. On the contrary, RWABWOGO is coming out to force the people, to urge the NRM leadership to come out with reforms. Because I keep on telling people that to understand that the revolution is successful, because the NRM government came into its existence through revolutionary means. They took up arms. They cited the things and the reasons as to why they went to the bush. But the revolution has never been successful. The reason as to why the revolution is not successful are these ones. One, for a revolution to be successful, it must realize the reason as to why it happened. The revolution does not become successful after winning a battle. In fact, winning a battle is the beginning of the realization of the revolution. For example, in 1980, Museveni went to the bush. He won the war in 1986 and became president. So the revolution, its success must not be determined on 1986 when Genome 7 was shown in to become president. The success of a revolution must be determined by the reason as to why they went to the bush. One of the reasons why General Museveni went to the bush were forceful disappearances, abductions, torture, unconstitutionalism. And they are the same things happening right now. How can you tell me that a person, a senior citizen like Mwanga Chivumbi, former member of parliament for over 17 years, is abducted and nobody knows where he is? He's not on the police station, he's not in a military detention, he's not on the gazetted places where people are supposed to be kept for over a week. Yet our constitution tells us that a person must be arrested and put in the gazetted places. His family members must be told where he is so that he can access lawyers. In a 21st century, you want to tell me that Mwanga Chivumbi is not known where he is? In a 21st century, how can you tell me that the CDF can come out, tell people that I'm going to put you in a basement, and he puts that in realization? A person like Eddie Muto comes out limping. Kakwezatu Kirabasaja is beaten like an animal, a wild animal. Besigye is abducted for weeks and later taken in a military detention. You want to tell me that, and those were the same things that took General Museveni to the bush? It shows that the revolution was unsuccessful. So revolutions become successful for as long as they realize the reason as to why they happened. So when RWABWOGO comes out to say that the NRM needs reforms, I may differ with him. NRM no longer needs reforms now. NRM must be put out of power with all the family and state capture. Because even if RWABWOGO becomes successful to this, the state capture, we need another revolution. It may not be a war, but we need, after General Museveni is gone, we need a new constitution, we need reconciliation, we need harmony as a country, because we've been so divided. And we are in times where the state wants to subjugate everyone, wants to make everyone keep quiet, because now they threat every person with the jail, abductions, torture, etc., which is not supposed to be the case. To show you that RWABWOGO went out so hard on this PLU, the former Secretary General, who is also the chairperson of the PLU chairman, appointed Daudi Kabanda as the chairperson. Daudi Kabanda came out to say, I have watched RWABWOGO's video calling on citizens to speak out. I agree, citizens must speak out. They must speak out against corruption. Land grabbers like him is trying to incite people against leaders bringing order. Like General MK, let him be assured General MK has backing of the majority of Ugandans. Trying to position himself as an alternative opposition to avoid accountability won't save him. That was Daudi Kabanda. He's coming out to say that he's agreeing that people should speak up. But he also came out to show his frustration that RWABWOGO is acting as an alternative to MUHOOZI Kainerugaba. And it is the truth. There is a power struggle within the Museveni's family. And RWABWOGO is doing it in the right way, speaking to the people directly, bringing reforms within the NRM. Yet on the contrary, MUHOOZI Kainerugaba is becoming out crude, is being vicious on his opponent. He thinks that intimidation, abductions, etc. can make him, take him to where he wants. When it comes to an intellectual debate, PLU cannot engage in such things. That's why RWABWOGO will show them dust and he will have more support than them. Can you imagine that they put billions of money in MUHOOZI tours, but he failed to get to the hearts of very many Ugandans? That's why he is resorting to brutality. Of course, as my PM is truly Mr. Makindi Kabesoleman Margaret. If you're into this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment so that I'm motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.